In this lesson, we will become more familiar with the AutoCAD working environment. To become proficient with AutoCAD, we must familiarize ourselves with the interface. So let's walk through these parts of the interface. Let's start at the top left-hand corner of our screen with the big A. Let's look at 2009 first. 2009 had all the typical pull-down menus listed here on the left-hand side under the menu browser. Now, let's look at 2010. 2010 has a different view here. It now has new, open, save as for all of our file management that we need for AutoCAD. I'm going to open the previous lesson's exercise called 2D House Plans from the menu of Recent Documents. Above this is the same menus, but they're called the Quick Access Toolbar. This is similar to the 2010 menu browser. This can be customized to include only what's necessary, like new and open. Next, we have our pull-down menus. This is the typical pull-downs that have been in AutoCAD for several releases now. We can get to most of our commands in AutoCAD with these pull-down menus. We have what's called the info bar. This is a real convenient way of getting quick help. Simply type in what you want or what you're looking for, and AutoCAD will quickly find the information for you from the Help Center and also online. I find it's very helpful in looking for new commands and also functions in AutoCAD. The biggest part of AutoCAD is called our drawing area. This is where all of the work will begin. Next, we have what's called our crosshairs. This is our mouse movements in AutoCAD. It becomes what's called a pick box during an active command. Directly below our drawing area is our layout tabs. If you don't see these, please type in CUI and turn them on. The first tab is what's called Model Space. To the right of the Model tab, we have our layout tabs. Our layout tabs are generally known as Paper Space. This is where we're going to set up what we're going to print on paper. We'll go over more of this in our next course called Printing in AutoCAD. Going back to the Model tab, this area is where most of our work will be done. Below the Layout tabs is our command line. The number of lines can be changed by left-clicking and holding the bar between the Layout tabs and the command line. We also can get the command window by hitting our F2 key. This is convenient to review our last set of commands. It is very important that we get in the habit of reading our command line. It will consistently tell us or ask us for information. Many users get lost in AutoCAD simply because they do not read this line. So it's a good habit to constantly watch this command line. Lastly is our status bar. It is made up of 5 different functions. We will not go through all the functionalities of these toolbars, but we will briefly describe them here. On the bottom left-hand side is what's called our coordinate display. This constantly tells us our position in AutoCAD in the X, Y, and Z locations. Next to this, we have our drafting settings. These are buttons that can be toggled on and off for certain functions in AutoCAD. These also can be controlled by our function keys at the top of our keyboard. We will learn more about our keyboard in a later lesson. Next, our model space layout settings. Like our layout tabs, these control the drawing areas that we are in. Like our layout tabs, these also control our drawing areas. To the right of our layout settings, we have our zoom, pan, and our steering wheel. Our steering wheel is used primarily for 3D. These are quick, easy access for these functions. Besides the zoom and pan, we have the annotation settings for AutoCAD. AutoCAD has done a lot to help us with simple annotation for text and dimensioning. To the right of our annotation settings, we have our workspaces. These help specify our toolbars specifically for 2D or 3D operations in AutoCAD. Lastly, we have what's called our application status bar. This controls our status bar itself. We can turn on or off certain functions of the status bar. In this, we have our clean screen that maximizes our drawing area. I want to briefly mention AutoCAD's ribbon. Please type in ribbon and hit enter. A ribbon consists of tabs, and each tab has its associated panel. Each ribbon is based upon whether we are drawing in 2D or 3D. For our lessons, these will remain off, so please type in ribbon close and hit enter. These are just brief descriptions of our working environment. We will become more familiar with these functions as our lessons progress.